Hello, I decided to make this video to show the current state of my fortress in Dwarf Fortress. Now, as you can see, here is the polar bear woman skeleton that I showed in the screenshot in the community post, and as you can see, it's turned into a skeleton because it's rotted. The bones in this game can be crafted into things, but not when it comes to sentient creatures, which this polar bear woman was, because it's not a normal polar bear, it's a polar bear woman. I think eventually this skeleton will rot away into nothing, but for the meantime, I have it here in this corpse stockpile. I probably should give it a proper burial or something, but I haven't created a tomb or anything like that yet. And here's a refuse pile where garbage is dumped. And we have these fluffy wombler remains, whatever that is. It's some kind of creature that exists on this glacier. And I don't know how it ended up here. Something killed it. Possibly my dogs. Possibly it died from who knows what. Anyway, it ends up here in this refuse pile. And here is a two-legged rhino lizard remains. And there's also rotten food being dumped here, because I have so much food now that it's more than my fortress can eat before it goes bad. So that being said, well, here's my my farm plots. Here's the kitchen where things are being prepared. I probably should pause these. And if I assigned a manager, I could set up some work orders. And I probably should, but I haven't got around to it. I'm far from, an expert at this game, but I know like the basics of it. Here's some gems to mine. I have my this is like my main floor where I have a dining hall here, and this is the dormitory where most of the dwarves sleep, because I haven't set up the proper bedrooms for them yet. I have smoothed the floor in this area to make it nicer. I also have a still here to brew drinks. And this is supposed to be a hospital, but nobody is injured or anything, so people just meet there. I was supposed to set up a meeting area here, but I never did. And now that's a meeting area, and people can meet here and socialize or whatever. I probably should put some stuff in there. I'll just throw down some... No, wait, there's a better way to do that. BFT is the... and BFR for the chairs. BFR And I don't know what else to put in there, but that's just to show you like the basics of it. And here is a well which I have dug all the way down into the aquifer, which is here. This floor here is where I ran into the aquifer, and this shows how deep the water is. 7 out of 7 is the highest depth. And this here is a pond I created, an artificial pond, which I channeled out down into the aquifer, and I was gonna try to like set them up to do fishing here. Like that. Apparently I hadn't done that yet. And that's why I don't have fish, because I forgot to do that. But this water here is... It's just... It's not going to have, like, the kind of fish that you would get out of a river or... the ocean or whatever, or lake or whatever. It's just like junk fish, but it's all I can get because this map doesn't have a river or a lake or an ocean or anything like that. So this, unless I hit the caverns, and there is, you know, some kind of water in the caverns, and then I can fish there. But I haven't hit the caverns yet. I went all the way down to level minus 60, and I launched these probing tunnels, but as you can see, I haven't reached the caverns yet. And this is unusual because usually you'd hit them like at like 13 levels below the surface or so, but that's not been the case here for some reason. I also tried at level 30 and didn't get anything. I did find this magnetite though, which is an ore that you can smelt into iron bars, I think. But in order to do that, you need to have a smelter, and smelters require fuel, which I don't have because there's no wood on this map. No trees because it's a glacier. There's no trees or plants of any kind. And the only animals that we have are these kinds of animals, which that's basically it. Oh wait, we got a horse here. And this is a problem because, and we also have a cow calf. Now your fortress will get migrants over time. Or no, wait, these might be from the merchants. The elf caravan left. Oh, there's a Yeti. And here's a stray goat kid skeleton. I think this starved to death. It was part of some migrants bought it, and there, as you can see, there's no pasture, so there's nothing for these animals to eat. So they'll starve to death eventually. If you go here, you can see the pets and livestock in your fortress, and yeah. So apparently that horse foal and this cow calf are part of our fortress. They weren't part of that elf caravan that left, but they're gonna starve to death. They're healthy right now, but there's nothing for them to eat. So what? Unless I reach the caverns and find some kind of pasture for them, then they're gonna die. So the only the most humane thing to do is to butcher them, and that's obviously not good, but they're going to die from starvation anyway. So I'm going to mark them to be slaughtered, and I don't like doing that, but it has to be done. Now, those two are grazing animals that require pasture. Dogs and these other ones don't require pasture. They, for some reason, they can find their own food and they don't need to be pastured. But these do, and I think this bunny is also fine. It's a pet, so it somehow it's getting food. People are feeding it, so I don't have to worry about that. This turkey should be put in the nest box so it can lay eggs. No, it's a male. It ain't gonna lay eggs anyway. Well, anyway, my food production is insanely high, as you can see. But that wasn't the case when I first embarked here. Like I said, there's nothing on the surface to eat, no plants or anything. You can butcher animals if you hunt them, or you slaughter the ones that you have. And as you can see, I have slaughtered the ones that I had to, so they wouldn't starve to death. And here is a tanner's shop where the hides from the ones you butcher can be turned into leather, which you can then use to make leather items. When I first embarked here, I made these two shops out of ice blocks, or these ice boulders here. And the first time I slaughtered something, I guess the heat from the animal that got slaughtered caused the ice to melt, and it deconstructed it. So I made it again with this stone block. So that's the problem with using ice boulders, is because they can melt. Stuff can melt and deconstruct. But nevertheless, I made this wall here out of ice blocks. And I don't know if that's going to be alright, or if it might melt from some reason. But, it's just a game. I'm not too... I mean, this fortress is going to... you're not going to win this game anyway. It's going to... why take it too seriously, you know? Because it's gonna, and this bridge here is made out of ice. And if an invasion comes, I have it linked to this lever, which will cause that bridge to go up, and this will be a solid wall and nothing can get past. And then if I flip that switch again, the bridge will come down, and if there's anything here, it will be smashed into oblivion. At least in theory. Now here is a door, and things can go through here, but I have a cage trap set in case, so hopefully I can catch something if it comes through here. And I intend to set up more traps. See, you can create spike traps, but I don't have any built yet to set up there. You can also set the cage traps, which that is, and stonefall traps and weapon traps, but I don't have anything built for that yet, so in the meantime, this is all I got. So this is a work in progress, but as you can see, I'm starting to get it together. I mined all this out, and I can put stuff in here if I want to. But this here, I intend to make this like a maze. You do this sort of thing in RimWorld also, where you want enemies to think they have a way into your fortress, so they go in, but there's all kinds of traps and stuff that they have to deal with. So that's what this is about. But this is the actual intended way in and out for caravans and for my dwarfs. But for enemies, they can think that they can come through here, but in reality they can't. And you know, eventually I'll have all of this lined with all kinds of traps. And like I said, I don't know if this ice, because I have this made out of ice, so I don't know if that's gonna be safe or if it might melt for some reason. But like I said, I'm not too worried about it. And the same goes for this bridge. It's also made out of ice. And if it melts, and you know, this fortress is going to fail one way or another. That's just inevitable. Every fortress fails one way or another. So, you know, you're not going to win the game. You just play it until something happens like that. But I just wanted to give a I don't know, summary of what's going on here. Like I said, this floor here is where I hit the aquifer, and that these blue water drop icons, that represents damp stone, and your dwarfs will automatically stop tunneling when they hit damp stone. And you can force them to tunnel it, but if they do, it may cause water to come through. And so these define the boundaries of the aquifer. And so I stopped at this floor and made this my main stockpile area and workshops. And I probably should expand that, because as you can see, it is completely full right now. No, wait, that's not how you do it. No, that's not right either. Uh, oh, that's what I'm doing wrong, I think. No, no, that's not right. There we go. So we have a. This is a carpenter's workshop, which makes things out of wood. Cages, beds. Um, all the wood I have is wood that I got from caravans, or there was 3 bars in your wagon that you embark with is made out of 3 bars of wood, and if you deconstruct it, you get those logs back, and you can use them to make your initial beds or whatever. And since beds can only be made out of wood, that's what you should use it for if you have no other source of wood. Now, eventually, when I do breach the caverns, this mud here, which I flooded into, see, after I made this pond, I walled this off, this area. I made this huge area here, and I put some floor here, and I built a screw pump which sucked the water from the pond and then dumped it into here. And when you dump water in this game onto rock floor, it creates mud, and stuff can then grow in that mud. And as you can see, there's still some of the water left here and here from when I flooded this. Eventually, water that's only 1, and I think maybe 2, will evaporate on its own if left alone. Eventually, these 2 spots of water will evaporate, but the mud will remain. And this mud, you can grow crops in. And I've already done that here, where I created 2 farm plots. I created a small farm plot here to begin with, and then I made this much larger one. And I'm growing plump helmets in this small one all year round. And then in this larger one, I grow cave wheat in the summer, sweet pods in the spring, cave wheat in the autumn, and plump helmets in the winter. And that gives me this huge amount of food that's far, far more than what I need. And I also had a screw pump here at one time that pumped water from this room here was full of water, and I set up a screw pump that went up and brought the water up, and then it pumped it into here to fill this up quicker than how it slowly fills on its own. It's still slowly filling up on its own, but I got it filled up in a hurry by using this screw pump, and here's the pieces still laying there. Now, this is aquifer, and to get through an aquifer, what you need to do is either wall off the tiles around the staircase, or you can smooth the walls, and if you smooth them, then that prevents them from oozing water out. And I did that all the way down until I got past the aquifer. But I'm surprised I haven't hit a cavern or anything, even all the way down to the deepest level, which is 60. That I should have hit a cavern or something by now, you'd think, but for some reason I haven't. Maybe I will with these tunnels, I don't know. But I may have to go deeper. I might have to go, I don't know, down to maybe 100 or something. I don't know. But, you know, now eventually a miner will come, but that's going to take time. Was there anything else I wanted to show? I can't think offhand. Here's the tasks that the miners that are the dwarves are currently doing. We got one of the dwarves. That's a child, so he's just eating. He doesn't work because he's only 2. Buildings are being constructed. That's probably that ice wall I set up. This guy's making a rock door. These 2 are putting stuff in the stockpile. This one is sleeping. This one's cutting gems. This one is slaughtering the horse. And well, I just basically wanted to show what's going on with my fortress. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you some other time.